I'm Hande Pusat from Tabanlioglu Architects, and I'm going to present to you the Beyazit State Library's manuscripts and rare books collection edition. This is a historical peninsula of Istanbul, and our site is in the center of this peninsula where the Beyazit Square is. The colored axis is the Tabanlioglu, we call it, as the imperial axis, and the site is in the center of it. The building is actually originally Imarethane, we call it. It's a part of the complex of Külliya. It's a soup kitchen for the poor and a caravanserai. It's just standing next to the mosque, and now the University of Istanbul, which is the oldest university also in Istanbul. The square is a platform for social history. Many events have happened there, including ceremonies, riots, and public executions. So it has a platform which has history and it's with its culture. And in the square, just in front of our building, is an old coffee shop where the empire had established, where the literary people used to come together and talk about literature, because this place is just next to the old books bazaar, which is also just attached to the building. This is our building. It was built in 1506. And afterwards, it's just at the 1884, the empire decided that the city needs a library. So they dedicated this building, which was still used as a soup kitchen, and a barn for the horses, to be re-established as a library and house this facility. It was a success, actually. People even started donating books from their houses while it started, and it ran very quickly and doubled its size and capacity. And after the Republic was established, Atatürk wishing that every printed material should go and kept in this building, this library. The task of getting everything inside was a big challenge. So they decided to move next door to the new building, and left this building as a storage place. The building was left like this after the 1999 earthquake. And I remember wandering inside and seeing all this. The first time I went inside I was astonished to see all of this. And I thought that we are challenging two things. We have to save the building and rehabilitate it, and we have to save the books. Don't make a mistake, these are not the rare books, of course. They're just the stacks of printed material. So we had two big issues to deal with. And as architectural, as space design, when we go back to the square, we had also another challenge. We wanted to connect our building with the square, because it hasn't been connected for a long time. It had big bars in front of it, so nobody was using the main doors. So the aim was to rehabilitate and revive the square, connect the square with the courtyard, the blue courtyard, and connect this building with the library, the main library. And at the backyard there was a garden, which was then not used as a public space, and make it as a public space. So first thing we did is open up the courtyard, so that became our main entrance place, and also an event space. Next to it was the number 5 was the exhibition center and multifunction room. And number 3, which was the old caravanserai building, is connecting the two libraries, let's say, and it's the main reading room. And around the courtyard, we have 3 dedicated spaces for 3 collections of rare books and manuscripts, and their dedicated reading rooms. The project lasted almost 2 years to get the permissions from the authorities, and then the construction started at 2007, at the summer of 2007. So what we basically did is clean up the facade, clean up all of we throw out all the garbage and all the racks and all that stuff from the building, and try to go deep into the layers of the original building. We did, of course, the steel constructions, the retrofits, and we also established a carpentry workshop at the backside, so that we did all of the woodwork on site. What was interesting is we could just reach to the basics of the building, like the original walls and original dome. Although the plasters were cement-based, so we had to throw them down, we couldn't reach the original flooring. So, and while we were digging and looking for the original floor levels, we found out some channels which were running under these main spaces. So this was our main idea, to use this flooring as a platform to use the plumbings and electrical stuff under these, using these channels and under the flooring. So the flooring was our platform for every technical detail. So this was an addition, was done at late 1950s, was standing in the courtyard, so we decided that we should be pulling it down and going back to its original place, original space. And we decided to have a very lightweight, inflated structure, a transparent ETFE structure as a cushion structure, mimicking the dome structures, letting the light, and also controlling the daylight, and climatizing the main courtyard in connection, which is connecting all of our other spaces. This is the main reading room, which actually we tear down all of the plaster on the walls and on the ceilings, and all these embellishments were done again, but we also left the original ones, which we could at some certain points. The main idea was to use the building as an exhibition space. The building was to be exhibited. Also, then we could just walk around and see the building itself as like a museum, and then have the books, which are rare books and manuscripts that normally you don't see them. They're just locked up in cupboards, and just present them for the visitors, so that they can walk around and see those manuscripts in these glass boxes, which have all the kind of air conditioning, humid control, and light control. That's why they're a little bit gray-colored boxes, and all the systems are going from the floor and coming up inside the boxes. So mainly you can walk around these and also enjoy the building and the books themselves. We worked with experts, also with the book experts, and they told us how to carry these books into these glass boxes, because they were in an open environment, and we will be going to the air-conditioned glass boxes, so we have to carry them in a controlled way, let's say. So this is, you can walk around these like they're jewel boxes, and you can see the old books, and you can also see the atmosphere. While we were doing the excavations for the technical rooms, because we took every technical room underground to the courtyards, we came upon the Byzantium Basilica ruins. So we decided to keep them, to clean them and preserve them, and also exhibit them in a way of with a glass floor that you can go out and walk over them. Just a quick finalizing the lighting, because we worked with a really genius lighting expert, and he designed us these chandeliers specifically, which are like the classical chandeliers from the mosques, but they're LEDs, and then these are either using indirect and direct lighting and giving the space a modern, also contemporary attempt. Just a detail showing the excavation outside, just keeping away the soil from the building, so that we also use these as ventilation for the building, and we use these channels as plumbings and all that technical stuff. That's pretty much of it. It's more than 10 years story, so it's really hard for me to tell it in 10 minutes. Hope that I could tell the story, that what I so excited about.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Knowing how much of the historical buildings has been heavily and sometimes not nicely restored in Istanbul, I think you did a great job.
Thank you very much.
Deeply sensitive, and also the way you have been working on that is very interesting. Who's the client? Who's the patron?
The client is actually the state, kinda, and Dawn Foundation, which came to us. It's a pro bono project. We didn't take any commission from that.
Sure.
But the budget was really low.
Really? Is it low? Because it doesn't look like.
It is lower than what you are expecting. But we have to raise the budget 3 times, because it was since it's a state ownership, they were not used to using this kind of material. Doing the courtyard, the ETVE, was a big challenge. They couldn't understand why we wanted it. Also, not making a library with all the walls all covered with shelves was a big challenge. We talked about it for 6 months maybe to get to that point. So they had a low budget, but they used it in a way. We didn't use too much expensive furniture, all that things. But the glass boxes were done there.
Yeah.
The wood frames were done also there, so it's just like we try to get to their limits, kind of balance. Yeah, it's over-designed for a state.
What about the environmental, the environmental? I mean, it's because you close the courtyard.
We close the courtyard.
So it's closed. I mean, the environmentally speaking, is like air conditioning inside.
It's still from the ground. We all cut the old stones. I have to say that we have to cut them and put the plumbings, because it's ventilated and shaded, and we have to do it because they wanted closed air-conditioned space connecting all the other. We had 2 options, but they wanted to be close, to go through closed spaces to other spaces. Istanbul is not always that sunny, you know.
No, I know. Okay.
And is that patio used for many things, or because it seems like it's just for contemplation or just passing through?
You mean the library?
The court.
The courtyard. It's actually designed as the client wanted it to be used as a welcoming venue, so that if they can give some conferences there, though we have the fountain in the middle, so it's going to be a little bit tricky for them. But these pictures were taken when it was just opened. So you go there by invitation usually, because you have to go. The rare books and manuscripts are really hand books, and the first published books of that kind. So they are just like maybe 600 or 500 years old. So you have to go there with invitation, but they can use that space as an event space. Thank you.